Hi, Dennis Hendershot here with the Brantford Golf and Country Club's Communication Committee. Today we're here with our course superintendent, Paul Evenden, and I know this is a much anticipated conversation. Paul, thanks for your time. Good to see you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah. So lots of topics. I know we're coming off one of the worst winters, not on record, but certainly in the last few years, coming from a season where we had the longest season and some of the best growth and great conditions. So I'm not sure where to start. I know you got your hands full, and you know, we've been delayed with the opening, and everybody wants to talk about when's the course opening. And,
sure.
But there's had to have had some great effect on the course this season, this winter.
Yeah, absolutely, Dennis. Like you said, this was the worst winter that we've had in 40 years, they're now saying. The way we're trying to categorize this as a natural disaster. This is no different than a tornado or a hurricane or lightning strikes, forest fires. The golf course has been very severely affected. We have dead turf on all playing surfaces, greens, tees, fairways, rough. We had a very major damaging ice storm on December 22nd, which did cause some critical injury to some of our trees as well. So we're struggling with that as well as everything else.
So when you talk about dead turf on the putting surfaces, I know you mentioned to me, I think it was last week, you were heading somewhere to talk to a couple of the guys from the USGA. So is there a plan? Obviously there's a plan in place, and
yes,
that's going to again set us back quite some time to even get on these putting surfaces.
Yeah, that's correct. We went off to Sunningdale Golf Club in London last week and met with Adam Miller from the USGA, came up and spoke to about 100 superintendents. I can assure you, Dennis, we are not alone in our situation. Yeah. Pretty well any golf course of our vintage in the Great Lakes region is seeing some sort of damage to their turf.
So would that have been relative to a specific type, whether bent, rye? Did it have more of a profound effect on our course relative to other courses as well?
Yes, that's correct. Our golf course has been here for over 100 years. The species of turf on our grass, on our greens, is what is called Hoa annua, which is very susceptible to cold and ice damage. Mm-hmm. Newer golf courses, which are predominantly bent grass, did much better this winter. Again, you'll find that golf courses of our vintage were hit the hardest this year.
Okay, so then what's the process? What's the first step?
The first step is to get some warmth into the turf, which is Mother Nature's been very negligent in giving us, I guess. Yeah. We do have our greens tarps that we tarp them with, which we will be placing back onto the green surface, try and get those soil temperatures up so that we can get the seed to germinate. We'll be preparing a seed bed with the verticutters, overseeding. We apply a black sand. The black sand also helps to heat up that surface, get that seed germinated. And the most critical thing, Dennis, is you have to stay off of them until they're recovered.
Yeah, and that's going to be the part I think that we need to get across here to the membership, and hopefully they'll understand that this is an act of nature, and it's not anything that could have been overcome. You know, it's just something that was going to happen. So really the turf isn't going to be removed. It's just going to be deep verticutting to where the new seed's placed in. So well, you know, I know you do certainly have your hands full, and I noticed myself driving around the golf course, I've seen some of the areas, and I know we're going to put some footage in here as well, but I also noticed a lot of trees, and I wasn't sure, some of them I'm sure were part of the removal process.
Yes.
Like holes like 14, I noticed a huge difference in
Correct.
14.
Yes, we did begin our regular tree removal program in early December. Again, the snows came, and then once the storm hit, that was taken right off the plate because we have so much damage that has to be addressed before we get into our tree program again, just to get the golf course back into shape, keep it safe for our members and guests. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we did a little bit at the start, but again, the winter shut us down quickly, and we're now basically in recovery mode. Yeah,
it looks like you've gotten a lot of the debris starting to be removed from the golf course. I know it's hard to get out there, you know, so it's got to be sloppy as well, and frost is still on the ground, I would imagine, or it's getting close to coming out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of frost in there, but we're very fortunate here at Brantford that we do drain very quickly, so we've had a good week to actually get around and move around, which is very beneficial to obviously getting that cleanup done. So yeah, we're doing well for that. Most of the frost has come out to the point where we actually did mow our greens for the first time yesterday. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I noticed on 17, I could tell there was some cut marks. So do you think that you know, we do have a good chance for full recovery on these greens? Might take the whole season, but
yes,
you feel pretty confident we'll be able to get them back to what they were last year? Because I know we had some lovely surfaces throughout the season. But any other major projects? I mean, I would imagine a lot of that stuff, anything that was kind of in the hopper is going to be set back just with all this, just to catch up?
Yes,
Any other
absolutely.
projects that are going to be affected?
Everything's basically right off the board now. Any of the capital projects we were anticipating doing will probably be put off. Same as our aerification schedule, which people will probably be happy to hear is completely off the table now. But you will see more activity from the grounds crew out there in the way of trying to cultivate seed, get it moving. We're unfortunately going to be a little bit more in your face this year as we try and get everything back together. It's a recovery year. This is not a player's year. This is a recovery year so that we don't face this again in the future.
Yeah, so I mean, very similar to back when the fairways were done, I guess. I mean, guys are just, maybe not to that extreme, obviously, but it's going to be a tough one for sure. But we'll all get a chance to get out and enjoy the golf course and hopefully have a great season. I know as well, I think there's board golf tonight or grounds meeting tonight. So maybe a little bit closer to a decision on when we might get onto some temporary play.
Yes.
You had mentioned to me that it could be middle of May at earliest.
Yeah, again, it's weather dependent right now. The weather's sort of cooperating a little bit, but we need to see some good recovery happening out there. We're seeing a little bit, but again, the turf plant is still asleep. We had 7 centimeters of snow on the golf course a week ago, so it's just not coming together at this point. So, yeah, I'll be making that presentation to the grounds committee, and we'll discuss options and see where we go from there.
Well, I'm sure everybody understands, and we do appreciate your time, and I know I've taken a bit of your time today. So, and I'm going to have you back probably within a week or so, because everybody's going to be interested to hear the actual open date. But again, thanks for your time.
Great.
And good luck out there.
Great, thank you.
Cheers.